All right, good morning, students. You're on to Mathematics for Grade 8, and we continue with the school series. We're looking at the topic, or we have been considering the topic bearing. And I remember when I started this topic, I made reference to the famous Pirate of the Caribbean movie and the character Captain Jack Sparrow, and a little instrument he normally used to carry called a compass. We've done a lot of introductory remarks as regards the topic. We have touched on some things. Today, we will continue by looking at two types of bearing. If time permits us, we'll look at the two different types. One called acute angle bearing, and the other one called triangle bearing. In my previous classes, I had dropped them, more like something for greater things to come. But today, I'm going to be specific so that in problems, you know how to apply them. So let's start. Our reference text is in New General Mathematics for JS2, and we'll be looking at page 215, 14, 15 actually. The topic acute angle bearing, that's what I'll start off with. I'll give you what you need to know, acute angle bearing. Acute angle bearing. Acute angle is actually a compound word. Acute angle bearing. It's a compound word. Acute angle bearing. Or bearings. Now, the concept of acute angle bearing is a concept of having two referral points or two referral points, the north and the south. So you take note of something. It says acute angle. Now watch this. You have all right, now look at it. Reference north, reference south. Reference north and reference south. So acute means that the angle I'm working with is less than what? Is less than what? Is less than 90 degrees. Acute angle means an acute angle is an angle less than 90 degrees. So remember we said when we're being taught that this angle here is 90, this angle is 90 degrees, this angle is 90 degrees, this angle is 90 degrees. And we said that angle at a point is what? 360 degrees. Angle at a point. I've taught this to you before now, but just trying to help you remember. There are key things you need to remember to understand this topic very well. Angles at a point is what? 360 degrees. So the whole of this angle here is 360 degrees. Each one is what? So when you're doing when you're handling your what do you call it now? Your bearing using the acute angle bearing method, your reference points will now either be north moving towards west. Watch. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. Your south moving towards east or moving towards west. Or you'll be talking about your north moving towards east or moving towards west. We'll solve problems and then you will see in practice how to decide whether you're using north to east or west, or you're using south to east to west. All right, so I'll allow you to copy this quickly and we'll proceed. I'm going to try to finish both, but you're going to have lots of assignments to do because this one is practice. You really need to practice here. Okay, so this is question 1. We're looking at exercise 24C. We're looking at question 1 here. And I said what you have here, replicate it up here. This will be east, this will be north, this will be south, and this will be west. So now, The question says, give the acute angle of what? A from B. A from B. Look at it. A from B. It means that the measurement is from B. So let me put another statement there. The bearing from the above diagram, comma, the bearing of A from B, the bearing of A, from B implies what? Take angle measurement from B. That's what it means. It is the bearing of A from B. It means this is your angle measurement from what? B. And you are told that this, look at it, so this angle you are giving here is what? 58 degrees. I see that. So that's what you have in your diagram. Now, what is the bearing? The bearing now will now be what? Not. I see that. Not 58 degrees what? East. That's what it's going to be. Not 58 degrees east. Not 58 degrees east. I've seen it because the angle you're dealing with is facing the position of A is this way. So, and since you are measuring the angle from B, you check the angle till it gets to that line that connects to A. So that is what? 58 degrees. So it will be not 58 degrees what? East, coming in this direction. Are they seeing the board well? I don't think they are seeing the board well, and nobody is complaining. All right, that is better now. Okay. All right, so let's do that quickly. And then, if you're through with that, please attempt question 2. If you are through with that, attempt question 2. Let me just draw, give us a little idea of what question 2 should look like. Then question 2, this is what the diagram is. We have not, this is position B. Position A. Remember that for these questions, we are told to find the bearing of B, bearing of A from B. This one is 40 degrees. This is south, this is east, this is west. Now, if you watch this question, question 2, what you will notice is that this angle now is at the bottom. Here it was at the top, so you use north. Here it's at the bottom, so you use what? South. Is that clear? I'll come again. This one, A was above, so we used what? North as reference. This one, A is below, so we use what? South. Now I said that the concept of acute angle bearing is that we use what? 2 referral points, either north or south, and then we move them either to this north, to the east, or to the west. So that's what's happening here. So for this one, the bearing of what? B of A, sorry, from B will be what? It will be referral. The referral point is south because it's down. And that will be what? South. It takes 40 degrees to get to this line. And what direction am I going? I'm going in the east. So I've done one for up, I've done one for down. If the angle were located this way, it's just so easy. Let me allow you finish copying, then I'll just do a diagram to show you a summary of the movement so that when you're solving problems, you can tell what to do. Direction summary. On acute angle bearing. So direction summary on that. Now for the direction summary, look at this. This is the question, the reference question B. Now this is this direction. Let's say A. This is another direction of A. This is another direction of A. And this is another direction of what? A. Now, watch carefully. This is the angles you are to use. Oh, be very careful about that. So even if they give you the angle here, you need to subtract from 90 to get this one. These are the angles you are supposed to use. Look at it. So this is what? Another one. So for this one, it will be, the answer will be what? The bearing of, so the bearing of, remember now that we are looking for the bearing of A from where? B. That's what we're looking for. So for this one, the bearing will be south. Let me call this angle, let me call this angle X, Y, Z, W. So for this one to be S, X, Y, Z. Let me call this M. So this will be S, M, whatever M is, and it will be what? West. Because this is east, this is west. So it will be S, whatever that angle is, west. Look at this one, it will be what? South, whatever this angle is, east. Are you seeing that? This one will be north, whatever that angle is, X, and what? East. This one will be what? North, whatever that angle is, it will be what? West. So these are the angles you would have. It's called a direction summary. So when you're solving problems, you should look at this diagram very well and use that as a basis to finish your problem. So I'm going to give you two to do for me now. Question 3 and question 4. Do that now and tell me what your answer is. Class work, question 3 and question 4. Do that and tell me what your answer is. Nobody has gotten it. Oh. No. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. That means you're not following me. Look at it. The angle given to you is here. Where is your south? Your south is here. So what is this angle? This is the angle now. Look at my direction. My what? Direction summary. The angle is from here to here. What is this whole angle? 90 degrees. Beautiful. Praise and miracle. It's like the scolding I gave to you has corrected the. That is correct. So this will be 60. I seen it south moving towards west. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much for correcting yourself. This will be A and this will be B. So the bearing of A from B is what? South, 60 degrees, what? West. Take note of this. So the angles are measured from a reference south or reference north. Take note of that. Okay, we will now go well to, let me allow you settle down on that so that I can do. Now, we come to the second type of representing bearing. It's called the three-figure bearing. Why is it called three-figure bearing? It's gotten from the basic concept of having 3 digits visible. So we start from, we could have this to this. So within this range, we have that. But that may not really drive a firm meaning to anybody. The concept of three-figure bearing will suggest that we are measuring from a reference north. We are measuring from a reference north, and we go clockwise. Come again, the concept of three-figure bearing is a concept of measuring from a reference north. We go what? Clockwise till we are able to get to where the line connects the points we want to, the point of interest. So that's the concept of, so you know, in acute angle, we're using the 4 cardinal points with 2 referral points, north and south, moving either to east or to west. But in three-figure bearing, the concept here is that we're using a referral north position only, and then we move clockwise in that direction. Okay, so let's take note of that. Exercise 24E. Exercise 24E will present a case scenario of how to handle this. I think we should also look at what is called the direction summary here. Maybe I should take on what is called the direction summary here. So direction summary, that will help us better. Direction summary. Now, we'll measure with reference to the north. So any angle that comes from here, this is 0, this is 090, this is 180, this is what? 270, and this is what? Also what? This is 0 or what? 360. Technically, it's actually what? 0, 0, 0. You get that? So we measure with reference to the north. This is the northern position. So you measure to be 90, it will be 180, to be 270, and then back to what? 360. So let's see how that plays out in practical questions. Let's look at exercise 24E. Number 1. Exercise 24E, number 1. Exercise 24E, number 1. It says, exercise 24E, number 1. It says find the bearing. It said find the bearing of what? State the three-figure bearing of B from A. State the three-figure bearing of A. State the three-figure bearing of B from A. Of B from A. State the three-figure bearing of B from A. State the three-figure bearing of B from A. Now, according to the question, they are told that this is 156. So B from A, this is where you're going to be measuring the angle from. So look at it, you're going to read the angle like this. And it's 56 degrees. So the bearing will now be what? 056. That's why it's called three-figure. 056 degrees. It must be three figures. So that's for question 1. Let's look at question 2. Let's look at question 2. In question 2, you are given this. Question 2. You are told that this angle is what? 120 degrees. Now, before you start working, use dotted lines to break this part. You know that if you move from here, this is a B, the end of B from A. If you move from here to this point, it is 180. I hope you know. Now, from here to here is 120. What will from here to here be? From here to here, what would it be? Angle in a straight line. You see why sometimes I tell you in class that you see sometimes in class why I tell you that your learning is built on previous knowledge. Previous knowledge. If you have forgotten the concept of angle in a straight line, it might become difficult for you to understand what to do here. We know from angles in a polygon that this one, very good, thank you for that student who have given us the answer. This one here is angle in a straight line. So we need to get this angle. This angle is 60 degrees. So this angle is what? 60 degrees. The space of this angle is 60 degrees. So what would the bearing be? The bearing is due north, run from here to here. So the angle, so the bearing of B from A will be equal to what? 180, which is at this point, plus what? 60, which is at this point, which is the space between here and here. And that will give me what? 240 degrees. That will give us what? 240 degrees. That will give us what? 240 degrees. Okay, so the assignment number 1, exercise 24C, questions 5, 6, 7, and 8. Exercise 24E. Questions 24E, questions 1, B to H. 1C to H. So 1C to H.